Alright, welcome back to another episode of Rabbit Hole Report. It's our third episode. Today we're going to be talking about government conspiracies. Last week we talked a little bit about celebrity conspiracies. If you haven't listened to that, you should
check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, we talked a lot of crazy stuff. Yeah, that's cool.
I think before we get into it, we should all introduce ourselves.
Yeah. I'm Perry Cloud.
I'm Chris Shannon.
I'm Sloan Hudson.
I'm Kennedy McCann.
Alright, well, without further ado, let's get started. So, Chris, you want to get started off with Bob Marley?
Yeah, so the Bob Marley conspiracy, basically, there's a big conspiracy that the CIA sort of played a role in the death of Bob Marley. And for that reason, basically Bob Marley, he was very influential with the Jamaican culture. And at the time, there was a very heated presidential election going on in Jamaica. Mm-hmm. And there was a prevailing view sort of that Marley favored Manley, which was the liberal candidate. And at the time, there was a lot of concern from the U.S. and the CIA with the Cold War going on about just Manley being in charge. And So.
I think one reason that a lot of people thought the CIA had a role in it is because when he originally got shot for his first assassination attempt, one of the three men, this is all conspiracy, one of the three men was a CIA agent.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Yeah. That is pretty suspicious, I will say.
And there was this CIA agent named Bill Oxley that confessed to the murder of Bob Marley on his deathbed.
Oh,
wow.
really?
Yeah, so
really?
that's could it even be a conspiracy then if someone admitted to it?
I don't know, he could be making
He could be.
Or somebody could have paid him to say it or something.
There was also an assassination attempt on him in 1976, and some people think that was also politically motivated.
Yeah, I think that's when he got shot for the first time.
Yeah, he got.
Yeah.
So he got shot. He basically, when Manley got elected, he basically hired a bunch of security because he was fearing for his life. And on the night he was shot, his guards were just strangely gone. And the gunman went into his house and shot everybody on Marley's team. Oh, wow.
He shot his wife, his manager.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, they all survived that.
You know what's crazy?
That's not even how he died.
This is a fun fact. If Bob Marley was inhaling instead of exhaling, the bullet would have went straight through his heart.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
How did you find that out?
Yeah.
I saw it on a YouTube video. It was an interview with one of his family members or something.
That's crazy.
But essentially, what ended up actually being the cause of Bob Marley's death was skin cancer. And he died at 36 from skin cancer. But there's a theory that someone gave him a poison boot that somehow gave him skin cancer. Too. Yeah. And that's essentially...
Some journalists that claimed that, right?
Yeah, and that was the CIA or something.
Yeah.
That's the conspiracy.
I don't know how true that is.
I
think he just had cancer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know that he only cut off part of his toe during because he liked playing soccer so much. He didn't want to play soccer. He knew if they chopped off his whole toe,
So he didn't have to play soccer anymore?
Yeah, well, it was he would have to chop off his whole big toe because to stop the cancer from spreading. And they're he said he didn't want to do that because he enjoyed playing soccer so much. He was I might as well die.
Because of his big toe?
Yeah.
So that, okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
That
man really wanted to play
Bill Oxley, though, that guy, he was experienced in more unconventional methods of conflicting harm, such as poison and induced heart attacks. So that's a reason that a lot of people thought that he was.
So a lot of people think Bill Oxley is involved with it.
Yeah, especially since he's claiming that he did it. Yeah.
That's so strange. So maybe the poison boot could be real.
That's what I'm saying, exactly.
I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, it all is conspiracy. Never
Yeah.
How far-fetched do you guys think this one is on a scale of 1 to 10 that the CIA played a role in Bob Marley's death? Or was it really just innocent skin cancer? Well,
I think he
I feel like...
That's what I agree.
I think he was.
I have to remember too, he was always he was outside playing soccer all the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just the timing's weird, y'all.
There was
because they did try to kill him 2 days before his Smile Jamaica concert.
Yeah, that is true.
Which is a little weird because that was going to be seen as a politically sensitive concert.
Well, because he has so much influence over people, so he can move people to do anything.
And the CIA could have seen him as like a political threat because of the war that was going on.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, to answer your question, Chris, I'll put it at like probably an 8.
Of 8 being very far-fetched.
Yeah. I'll go 7 or 8.
I'm gonna go with like a 7 for how far-fetched it is because I mean the whole boot thing is just
the boot's throwing me off.
It is really like out there, but
and then you have someone claiming
I would go 5. I think out of most conspiracy theories, this one's a little more believable, just because someone confessed to it.
Yeah, I was thinking about a 5 or a 6.
Yeah,
that's a good point. Well, you want to go to the next topic? We'll talk a little bit about Epstein. That's a little bit weird. Mm-hmm. So this one, I love this one. This is
There's a lot to this one.
I mean, obviously, everyone pretty much knows the story of Epstein. He got in a ton of trouble when he had the Epstein's Island. He's doing a lot of weird stuff up there, obviously. He's found dead in jail. He was found hanging, and obviously there was a ton of stuff about, I guess, like, just a ton of big famous people that were rumored to be on this flight list. Like I've heard of who is it? Trump being on there.
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
Prince Andrew.
Yeah. So I guess that's really where the conspiracy revolves from. Is like obviously you wouldn't want all these big people's names getting out and being like involved in all that. So
do you think it's the government that's trying to cover it up, or like the celebrities?
Yeah. So I would think it's the government.
I feel like it's a little bit of both.
They go
because there's both.
Hand.
Yeah,
that's true.
Or is it Stephen Hawking too? Was rumored to be on
really?
there?
No way.
No way.
Stephen Hawking. That's crazy.
It's insane.
Okay.
Like it's just a lot of crazy, just very influential people that were on that were rumored to be on that island. So obviously, I would think they would probably rather want him dead than to share any of that. Because at that point, he's in jail. So what's he going to lose? Like,
Exactly.
I think it is a little suspicious that they removed him from Suicide Watch.
Yes.
And they removed his cellmate.
Yeah.
No, they removed him like the night before.
There's no guards looking at him.
The cameras
turned
off.
The cameras malfunctioned.
Yeah, like that's just I'm not buying any of that. Yeah.
Too many things are lining up for like the perfect execution.
Exactly.
I think the main question is one of two things must be true here. Either one thing happened, which is like kind of what you just said. How could a prison with their highest profile inmate take him off suicide watch, remove his cellmate, not have guards looking at him, and the cameras turn off?
Exactly.
Either that's true, or somebody completely penetrated the entire prison system and killed him in about 15 minutes.
I think that would be hard to do.
Do they have any like...
but one of those two is true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they're both crazy.
Yeah, I don't think it's a coincidence that all that happened.
Is there like evidence of someone like seeing his body in the cell after he died?
Well, they found him hanging, right?
Yeah, they found him hanging.
They found him hanging.
The
question, like the question.
But they could have staged it.
Yeah, they could have staged it.
They staged it to look like a suicide,
right?
Ooh.
Which would be a lot to do in like I think it was like a 15-minute span.
Yeah,
something like that.
I mean that is a lot to do. I mean, think about all these people that were like you got Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump.
You got the
Les
whole
Wexner, who was a former
Israeli prime minister.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
ton of like Hollywood actors and stuff. Just like so many big figures. That
so many people of power could have come down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With Epstein staying alive. So.
Yeah, that's what just makes me think. It's hard and everything like what you were saying. So it's just a lot of pieces that have to align for that, just to be like, oh yeah, he somehow killed himself in this like highly. Highly secured prison?
Yes.
It's just
with their highest profile person.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
that's just it's kind of hard.
How did that all happen in like once? All 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big believer in this one. I gotta be honest with you. I think if there's any conspiracy theory we talk about on this is the one I believe in.
He was assassinated.
Yeah, I think he was killed.
I feel like the government could have easily like done this and staged it
Yeah,
easy in the span of maybe 15 minutes.
There was a lot of powerful people that wanted him dead.
Yeah.
So.
Obviously,
they
there's
do
a
it
lot of
for a
stuff we
living.
don't know.
With the amount of people who wanted him dead, I think it's very likely they could have pulled this off.
Oh, yeah.
They definitely have the resources. I gotta say, I'm with you, Perry. I kind of believe this one.
Yeah.
I don't think he killed himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that one.
Have y'all seen the theory that he's an Israeli spy?
What?
I have not seen that.
What's that
Because
about?
he was so close with the Israeli prime
Yeah.
minister. He visited Israel 31 times.
31 times.
And he even considered moving there. There were a lot more details to it.
Really?
But people actually considered him a spy for Israel.
Oh my god.
I feel like
that's
super-
yeah, that's insane.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, yeah.
He just knows everyone around the world, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess on to the next one. What's our next topic?
9/11.
9/11.
Who wants to lead us off with that?
So there's a lot I can do 9/11. There's a lot to unpack here. So there's just a lot of different pieces of evidence or inconsistencies with the whole just legitimacy of the attacks, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
For on one hand, there was a terrorist ID of one of like the terrorists that they said was a culprit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was found completely unharmed at the scene of like all the mayhem of the World Trade Center. So that's a little suspicious. That could have
Was he one of the ones in the
planted.
planes?
Yeah, he was one of the ones who crashed the plane. Yeah, and his passport was found down there.
What?
Like just completely unharmed, just somehow. One of the terrorist fathers claimed that he talked to his son after the attacks. One of the guys they said crashed the plane, and he was completely fine apparently, and was in hiding. But that could just be his dad just kind of yapping.
Yeah.
Trying to clear his son's name.
Yeah, trying to clear his son's name.
That's real.
But then there's a little more. There's a lot with the Pentagon, with the plane hitting the Pentagon, that doesn't add up. The crash seemed suspiciously small for a plane that size.
Yeah.
Many believe it was a missile that hit the Pentagon.
Yeah, I just don't get that one, if I gotta be honest with you. I mean, there's gotta be eyewitnesses that were right there.
Was there any video evidence of when the plane hit?
Well, there were 82 cameras that caught the crash, but only one has been released. And it was like a down angle, and you couldn't even see a plane.
That's weird.
You don't think that like anyone has a video on their phone that was in New York that's like far away, just like...
Well, I think we would have seen it by now,
feel like
because it happened so long ago.
That's a good point.
I mean, we've seen the
I guess
ones
none
at
of
the
us
Twin
were
Towers.
live.
Yeah, I guess
Well, that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the video you can't really see the plane hitting the Pentagon, but also it was traveling 530 miles per hour. So you wouldn't really see it. But I don't know. I just think it's weird that only one camera footage has been released out of the 82 cameers that caught it.
So the government could be like hiding those videos. Maybe.
That's true.
Maybe.
What do you think the point of staging those would be? Maybe to start conflict with other countries? Or
That's kind of what a lot of people believe, that it's to give us a reason to invade Afghanistan.
Yeah, because this was going...
Iraq,
we were about to start war in the Middle East with Afghanistan and Iraq.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's to justify war, and also to pass laws like the Patriot Act and the NSA spy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't say I buy this one, guys.
Well, it's just...
It's just like...
Yeah,
also the motive, too, just doesn't really make enough sense to me. It's like... You're gonna kill thousands of people, like your own Americans, just to justify war.
That's what I can't get behind.
That's insane. There's no... I can't believe that.
Yeah. Did y'all also hear the theory about how they, like, planted bombs before the planes hit the Twin Towers?
I haven't heard that.
Basically, a lot of people think that because, like, the way the towers fell, there was no resistance with it.
They felt, like, too quick.
Yeah, they fell. They both of the buildings fell in about 10 seconds, which is about the time it would have taken if you like dropped an object off the top of the tower. So there was absolutely no resistance with them falling, which is exactly how it would have happened if an explosive.
Really?
Up. Yeah.
Do you think they like could have put explosives in the plane?
That's what I was kind of thinking.
That's also a possibility. That could be what happened.
Would the engines just not I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm not educated on this, but would the engines not just blow up inside, like, as soon as it crashed?
Well, it didn't all fall as soon as it crashed.
Well, you didn't also see it explode. You just saw it drop.
Yeah. All you see is it drop. Yeah, that is true.
So, I mean, you can see it explode when the
when the plane goes in, but then right
there's
before
the initial,
it drops,
obviously, collision.
Yeah.
There's the initial collision, but...
Yeah.
But, like, when it drops, you don't see, like, a explosion happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just starts going.
Yeah. Have you guys seen kind of the whole conspiracy with Building 7?
Building 7?
Oh.
So Building 7 was it was a building that was positioned across the street from the World Trade Centers, and it fell 7.5 hours later. 7.5 hours later after the attack, and it sustained no damage other than falling debris. And there was like a fire inside the building that was the reported reason for it collapsing. But a lot of people question that because a guy named Larry Silverstein, he's the owner of the World Trade Center. He said in an interview in 2002 that the firefighters decided to pull Building 7, which basically means use explosives to take it down.
What would the point of that be?
To not let the fire spread.
Okay.
But why would he say that when the reported reason was the reported reason it fell was because of fire?
Oh, because of the other two towers, collapsing.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, is it not because of fire if they explode?
I guess
because of the fire?
Yeah, that's just kind of like a weird thing that a lot of people are questioning.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it makes it a lie though. Like they still blew up the building because of fire.
Yeah, it was still because of fire.
Yeah.
But
what's y'all's opinion on this one? Do you think this is really far-fetched? Do you think this is just something?
The Pentagon thing is a little.
Yeah.
That's a little strange.
There's a lot of
so many cameras.
Yeah.
And they only release footage for one. That's the only reason.
That's a little.
Yeah, that's a little suspicious. But I mean, I believe the Twin Towers getting hit.
Yeah.
I believe that one. It's just the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'd say the Pentagon one's a little bit weird considering the fact that you said there's only one thing. But at the end of the day, I think, in my opinion, I don't think this is any bigger than just a terrorist attack that happened.
Yeah.
I still think it's just, I feel like some people are just kind of going a little bit extra with this one.
Yeah, they're just trying to find a why.
Just trying to find a why.
Yeah.
I just think I can't get behind the government planning something so elaborate and killing so many people.
Right.
So many Amerians,
it just doesn't make any sense.
I can't. Yeah. So, if I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 on how far-fetched it is, I'd probably give it a 7.
Yeah.
I would go 8.
I was thinking 8.
Yeah,
we have
the
same
thinking
answer.
8. On to the next one. We're going to talk a little bit about the moon landing.
Oh, yeah.
Who wants to bring us into that one?
I don't know too much about that one. I'm not going to lie.
All I know is that everyone thinks that the government faked or falsified the moon landing in a studio directed by Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about it. I've seen this video on TikTok where they were showing footage of the moon landing, and in the background there's a dude on a green screen
What?
Yeah,
I've
seen all that stuff.
But I don't know how real that is. I talked to my roommate about it, and he said that was footage for some movie they were.
Yeah, because he also released a movie about the moon landing. Yeah. I don't know when exactly, but
my thing is every other country in the space race would have every reason to say this is a hoax to expose it, but they have confirmed its authenticity.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, people believe that we went to the moon. It's just we could have lied about when we did it,
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that also was during the time of the Vietnam War, and we were also trying to assert global dominance during the Cold War.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. From what I saw, there was some things with shadows not perfectly aligning with the astronauts.
Yeah.
Or something.
The flag.
And the flag the flag swaying even though there's no atmosphere in the.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, but I think it was just the way they made the flag. Because if not, it was just it wouldn't. It would just flop down.
It would just go up.
But
stay. Yeah. How would the flag stay? Is it still on the moon right now?
I assume.
Yeah.
Where's it gonna go?
Yeah.
Well, it
some
could just
aliens
float up.
took it or something.
I don't know exactly.
I would not be surprised.
There was some way NASA designed the flag to where it would stick out, so we could be our whole flag would show, kind of.
Yeah.
America's whole flag would show.
That makes sense.
So rather than just flopping down, I don't know exactly how that works, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Also on another page where I don't believe this one.
I don't believe this one.
Yeah, this one's really hard to believe. I believe we went to space.
Yeah. I just think this one's just so ridiculous.
This one's very far-fetched.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10, honestly.
I give it a 9 or 10.
I'm giving 9.5.
I feel like the only thing it's got going for it is the flag. I think the flag maybe
the flag,
a little weird.
yeah, that's a little
want to figure out how they did
and maybe
that.
The idea that someone directed it in a studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not buying it though.
Yeah, that's hard to buy.
Well, what do you call it? What's our next topic? What's going on? JFK?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a really good one. There's a lot about him.
Who wants to kick us off with that one?
So I think the conspiracy here is whether Lee Harvey Oswald did it or someone on the inside did it.
Yeah.
I'm not really too sure with this one. I know when they were taking Lee Harvey Oswald to court, he said, "I'm a patsy," which I'm just a patsy, which means I'm just a decoy. So
that's what a lot of people genuinely believe that. With him too.
I don't think it's too far fetched.
I don't think it is either.
Yeah.
What do y'all think?
I've heard a lot of people, many believe that Jack Ruby, if you don't know who Jack Ruby is, he's the one who killed Lee Harvey Oswald in prison.
Yes.
A lot of people think that he was the one who killed JFK, and they said he framed Lee Harvey Oswald. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the idea, and then he went to prison so Lee Harvey Oswald wouldn't, snitch on him.
Yeah, and also I heard that Jack Ruby is also, he has some ties with the mafia.
Really?
Yeah, which is a little weird.
This Jack Ruby guy is definitely sketchy.
Yeah, I could see how he would be involved in this for sure.
I could 100% see how he'd be involved.
Yeah. It's definitely not just one person involved. Even though it was one shot, there's definitely more people involved.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were talking about, if you've seen the footage, there's this guy with an umbrella, just in all black, with an umbrella, but it's super bright outside, so people think that could have been suspicious, or a signal to someone this is where you need to shoot, or when to do it or something.
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah, that signal or whatever.
All right, so as far as a scale from 1 to 10, what do y'all think? 1 being not far-fetched, 10 being very far.
7.
I don't know. There is some weird things about it.
Yeah.
For sure. And also people have seen, former CIA operatives have, thought that Kennedy, has been a threat before. So, I don't know. I'm thinking a 5.5.
Okay. I'm gonna go around there. I'll go 6.5.
Ooh.
There's just
I'll go right in between y'all. I'll go 6. I just think just being first of all, it's the president of the United States.
Right.
Hard to I don't understand how you can just assassinate the president of the United States that easily. How do you get so close?
Exactly.
You know but that brings us to our last topic, I guess, of the episode. Y'all hear anything about Bohemian Grove ever?
Not much, but
so it's this private park that's a campground. It's 2,700 acres in the middle of Monte Rio, California, where there's a ton of members that are in it. They're top figures in politics, business, media, and there's a ton of conspiracies that they're all part of this weird cult ritual.
Really?
Where they go in there and they I guess dress up in weird capes and stuff like that and huddle around this big fire with an owl. I'm not sure if you guys have ever
I could see that happening.
Yeah,
I could
crazy.
totally see it happening.
Yeah, it's weird stuff. But I mean I don't really think I think the weirdest part about it is just no, it's a little weird. Have you guys ever heard the name Alex Jones?
Yeah.
Kind of insane guy, but like
alt-right,
he like this is what he claims is what like made him crazy was that he has footage of like apparently how he snuck in and he started filming like this actual ritual going on and like there's the flames. It's on YouTube somewhere.
No way.
Like, really? Yeah. You can go on YouTube and like actually look it up. It's somewhere. Yeah. I've seen like man, you can't see any faces or anything. It's like from like a bush and like all this stuff, but it's
just for his life.
I think it's definitely weird, but
it sounds really weird. But is there any like basis other than Alex Jones?
That's what I mean.
Like, I know is it only Alex Jones?
But if there's video evidence,
yeah,
I know. There's he could have just been. I mean, right there.
Ryan Garcia?
Yeah. Is that confirmed?
Yeah, he's also crazy.
He's also
crazy.
Okay.
He is crazy.
Yeah, he's lost his mind over the past few
There is a video of it, but if you can't like see a face, how are we supposed to know this isn't just like some random cult?
Yeah, this could be like random strangers.
Like, how do we know that it's actual like powers of like real like powerful people there?
Well, I think it's just because of like the Bohemian Club's guest list is just like full of like U.S. presidents.
Oh, is that the
leaks? Yeah, like Fortune 500 executives.
Oh, wow.
All this stuff. Yeah, so it's just like a ton of like government, like all the government officials and stuff. Yeah, that's why people think it's a little bit weird.
Oh. I heard that there's like a theory that politicians like would meet there so they could have like privacy, free of media and public oversight.
Yeah, I mean it is 2,700 acres.
I mean, yeah, it's literally in the middle
go
of
in the middle of that and like you block it off, like don't let anyone come in. You can only get in. Like I think if I'm not mistaken, you can only get in there like if you're part of the Bohemian Club guest list. But the only people who are on that are just like high executives. So who's to not say like. These are all just the members that are just going in there and doing weird stuff.
That's what makes me think there's no way Ryan Garcia was involved.
That's like how did he?
Why Ryan Garcia?
Yeah. All right. Well, how far-fetched do y'all think this is?
I think
it's a little far-fetched.
Yeah, because if there's one person that's had evidence about it,
right?
And it's Alex Jones.
That's a little weird.
Alex Jones. Alex Jones and was it Ryan Garcia?
Yeah, like those two are
not solid. Yeah, that's not two solid alibis. Right
the one thing that's a little weird is like the Bohemian like guest list you were talking about.
That is a little weird.
That is a little weird, but like still, it doesn't have enough basis behind it. I'm gonna have to give this like a 9 out of 10. This is kind of insane.
Yeah. Also the video too. I don't know much about it. I'd have to watch a video for myself. I feel like I've seen like I mean, like, I've heard that's on YouTube and everything, but...
I just feel like it's way more likely that it's just some random cult.
Yeah, and I feel like people would know about it more if, like, all these high figures are, like, in it or on this guest list and stuff. Like,
I'm gonna go an 8. Yeah,
I'm gonna go 8.5.
I'm going 9.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I guess that wraps up our 3rd episode of the podcast.
Whoop, whoop.
So if you guys haven't already, make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, and follow us on TikTok. Got a lot of good stuff on there.
And make sure to ask us questions in the comments.
Definitely want to hear y'all's opinion about it.
Tune in next week.
Next Friday.
Doing science and technology theories.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you have any topics you want us to talk about next week,
even like time travel,
comment.
Yeah. Alternate universes. Let's
go on. A lot of interesting
stuff.
There's
a lot for this.
Talking about a lot of cool stuff. All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.